Shavua Tov. Hope everybody had a good week. Week of ending Pesach. Week of personal miracles. Difficult to lose a friend. Yesterday evening, before Shabbos, I received a message that a very dear friend of mine from North Miami Beach, Eddie Meinstein, Zichrono Lebracha, left this world for a better one, Olam Haba. We know each other for 26 years, very, very close with my friend Minucha. And last year, if you remember, I went to North Miami Beach to make Pesach for them. The day that I arrived, Minucha went into the hospital and I wound up being caretaker and making Pesach, at least as best as was possible for Eddie. It was very, very difficult time, and it took a great deal for me to deal in this situation. The first night we went to their daughter's home, and the second night as well, and the rest of the time making Pesach in the house, and all the other days were basically my responsibility for Eddie, who was very, very sick, and to have him pass basically before my daughter Aviva's birthday, which is today on the Gregorian calendar, is pretty difficult. So the reason I chose this subject for today, October 7th, and what it means to Jewry of the world, is because somebody wrote something on a comment that I made, and extremely insulting. So I decided, well, if you're going to insult me for who I am and what I believe in, then you might as well know who I am and what I believe in. And you can take your comments that are directed at me personally for what I say or what my opinions are, and you can save yourself the time and the effort, because they won't touch me. I've traveled all over the world, taught in so many places, have students all over the world. And for all intents and purpose, my 8.5 years in Italy, I thought, were really the place where I was going to remain for the remainder of the earthly mission. The truth of the matter is that somewhere in my neshama, somewhere in my soul, there are remembrances of past lives in Italy. It comes to me natural. It comes to me very, very, very powerfully all my life. And of course, when we talk about the voice, for me, that really is the beginning of all voice. Why? Because the Levites came to Italy, were taken by the Roman captors, and they brought everything they knew and everything that they were and what is written in their DNA to Italy. And with that began song, real song, classical music, opera, whatever. This is written in my DNA. And when the opportunity arrived, actually, first in 1982, and then again in 2016, when I finally made the decision to actually move there, it was very thought about and very, very much part of my Jewishness. What brought me and what made my final decision was Bova Marina, where in the 1400s there was probably this, or the largest or the second largest synagogue in Europe that was destroyed. And one of my lifetimes was in that Parco Archioderi that today is a park. Very, very secondary in fame, which of course it shouldn't be. But then knowing what I know now, it makes absolutely perfect sense that no one really takes care or is majorly interested in that place. It made such an impact on me, as everything that has to do with Jewishness, with Jewish life, with Shoah, with memory, with my family that I never had, the aunts, the uncles, the parents who are survivors of Bergen-Belsen, Auschwitz, family that I never knew, that doesn't do anything except evoke enormous, enormous pain in me. I could not believe, and I could never imagine what 8.5 years of my life would produce as far as the things that I actually did. And what stands out more than anything else, of course, is 5 years of the competition, the national competition for the Shoah and peace competition of poetry, of course. All the prizes that I won and all of the conferences that I gave and all of the schools that I spoke to and all of the warmth and the joy and the friendships and the awards that I received. And comes October 7th. And in a period of 24 hours, the world turned 360 degrees. My own personal life, of course, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about how my life is the life of Jews all over the world. Because no matter where I've been, and no matter whom I know, and no matter what I've done, and no matter how much I've tried in my life to contribute, it all is erased as far as world and world opinion is concerned when it comes to my people, my land, God's land. I think it's important to understand that when you're talking about the state of Israel, and when you're talking about Zionists, which today is the word that 10 years ago, 20 years ago, nobody knew, nobody cared about, except, of course, people like my father, people that suffered so immensely because they couldn't be, for whatever reason, in Israel, and who did and gave their life's work to empower the state of Israel. I've been a Zionist since I can think. That's what is my DNA, and that's how my blood runs. And that is what Torah, from the beginning and throughout the entire 5 books of Moses, talks about, which is actually what you, who are not Jewish and watching, should very easily understand, because the basis of everything that you hold dear is the Old Testament. That is the beginning of everything you hold dear. Zionism is just a return to what actually should have been always, and in reality was always, because there never was a time when there was not Jewish presence in Palestine, which is just a name that was given a very, very long time ago, but has nothing to do with who we are and what is the land of God. Everything that you hear in the 5 books of Moses until the very last moment speaks about the place where God will take you. What is the land? What is the outline of the land? Where it begins, where it ends, what Jerusalem should be, what Zion should be, what the temple should be, how it should be. Everything is outlined and written. Basically, everything that has happened in 3,000 years plus of history to that piece of God's personal property, his personal people, has been because we are who we are. And with that, along with that, comes a hatred and a jealousy and a blackness, an evil on behalf of the land and the people, that, as written in the Torah, in every generation you'll have it. In every generation there will be. And what we've seen throughout our history is that, in fact, in every generation there is. And in every generation there will be an evil against us. Because until every Jew returns to his homeland, there will be no peace. And until we destroy Amalek, which is God's enemy, and God says, remember what Amalek did to you, wipe out the memory of Amalek, because in every generation, and you've heard it before, when God gives laws, opens up 613 commandments, describes how he wants his tabernacle, his temple, so he can dwell amongst his people. When he tells you and he gives you orders, you must follow. Until October 7th, every war was won with miracles. Every war shows without a doubt that with nothing, the state of Israel was born sand. Nothing. and with unbelievable power, the state of Israel is being defended today. You know what? I live 50 kilometers from Lebanon. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for the Lebanese people. I feel sorry. I don't even have another word for that which is the Iranian people. I feel sorry for the suffering that they are going through because of the evil amongst them. When October 7th happened, and it destroyed, it fractured, it disseminated the lives of the entire communities that were destroyed, the lives of people that were destroyed, the lives, there isn't a Jew in the world, even the one that hides, even the one who doesn't say, even the one who has no affiliation, even the one that is beyond gone, let's say. There isn't a Jew in whose blood does not run the pain for what happened on October 7th, when the world again turned its back on the Jewish people. Every comment, every critique, every lie, every miserable word, every damned word that comes out of people like Tucker Carlson and Compagnia Bella, the beautiful people of the world, the journalists of the world, the politicians of the world, when those words come out against Israel, and Israel defends itself against all of it and makes sure that America, the Golden Medina, the golden land, as my father, bless his soul, forever said, believed America to be. Israel today is America's ally, and I can tell you, surely America appreciates what Israel is doing. There is no intelligence like Israel, and there is such great, I don't want to say love because that's not the word I'm looking for, appreciation for America and for what America has stood for, and I believe still stands for, when it comes to understanding and knowing what Israel represents in the Middle East, politically. Donald Trump understands what Israel means politically, but he also means, and what he says he does, and what he understands he goes after. And when he put the American embassy in Jerusalem, that was the decree of where America stands as far as Israel's sovereignty. No matter what Trump does, no matter what move he makes, good, bad, indifferent, not important, it's not even a moment to or discuss it or judge it, because you must know and you must understand that there is no conversation in all of it that is not godly decreed. The fact that you think, or the press or the media or anybody thinks that this is all set up by America and Israel, you have to put on a different way of thinking. A different record has to play. The computer needs to work in a different way. God is running the show. What does this mean? Well, let me tell you something. If you take the numbers, only numbers, go put into Google how many ballistic missiles with warheads and how many drones and how many missiles, normal, ballistic, have been sent into the north, into the south, into the center of Israel, into Jerusalem, into Tel Aviv. Take the number, just the number, and you will totally say it's unbelievable that the country is still here. But what does this say? Firstly, that there is divine protection from morning to night, from the beginning of the year until the end of the year. That's what it is. That's number one. Number two, that since the inception of Israel in 1948, Israel has done everything for every Jew everywhere in the world to have a place where you can go, where I can go, where we can live, and where we have a place to go to. So 6 million souls did not burn for nothing. What happened October 7th is the Holocaust of modern times, which I consider from the end of World War II. When you consider the sheer number of enemies that surround us, you must, with any minimal intelligence level, and you're all brilliant, you're all smart, you're all educated, you must realize that what is the damage in this country, and there are people who died, and there are over 1,000 soldiers that were killed, and there is property damage, all true and all painful. But according to the numbers and according to the reality of everything that has been sent our way since 1948, through every war, there should not be anything other than sand the way we got it in 1948. So what you have to get in total is that there is one, and there is only one, and there is no other who protects this land, this country, this people, these Zionists, these Jews who come from all over the world, from every part of the world. In time of war, they arrive to be blessed by God, to be here. I read an article today in the Mizrahi, and Doron Peretz said that the people who live outside of Israel are those who do for Israel an enormous work, because people that live outside of Israel and that work for the state of Israel in everything that they do by being Jews are worthy, extremely worthy, which doesn't mean that you should stay there, which means that if you stay there, be who you are, show the world who you are. Don't hide yourself behind anything. Continue what you're doing and know that you're doing it directly or indirectly for Israel. By being who you are and staying proud of who you are, you do a phenomenal job for what is representing the best of who we are. Each one of us has a job. Each one of us is responsible for every Jew and for Am Yisrael. And hiding behind who you are, but don't show it, and don't speak about it, and don't let your voice be heard about it, you're certainly not doing any favors to us as a people, but mainly to yourself, because you're not enjoying in difficult times what a Jew can feel knowing that his life is guided by the hand of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, of God himself. When I came back from America last year, and first I was in North Miami Beach, and then I went to the Bahamas for 4 days to revive myself a little bit. And then I went to Crown Heights. I went to Brooklyn, to my friends, to close, wonderful, wonderful friends. My Lubavitch community in Brooklyn. I don't have one anywhere else, but in Brooklyn, I was part of the community, and the Rebbe is my guide and will be my guide forever. But when I left America, I came back to Italy with the decision that I would never come back to America, or that I shouldn't say never, because Hashem is in control, so who knows, but I would certainly never go back to Italy, which has robbed me of innumerable drops of blood and tears. That there was only one place where I and every Jew would feel safe, protected by God. Not that the protection is not for every Jew everywhere. That's not the point. The point is that physically, in reality of our lives, there is no place else. And the world is showing us, look around you, open your eyes, what is really going on. The Spanish Inquisition, the Inquisition in Portugal, in Italy, it's all historical, but it's all true. Sanchez hates Israel as much as the cardinals did, as much as Isabella did. And whoever makes the comparison of never again is now. Beware of anywhere and everywhere you go, whether it's France, not even to talk about, England, not even to talk about, Europe, Russia, the suffering that Russia caused Jews with their pogroms, with their destruction of Jewish education, of the Hasidic movement, whatever. Okay? I mean, if you make an accounting, a historical accounting of what these people have gone through and exist today, are today who they are, have accomplished what they are. And there isn't anything, okay, that you are using today that does not have Jewish intelligence in it. Medication that you're taking, BDS, forget about it, because you couldn't live a day without the discoveries in science, in medicine, in technology that are attributed to Israel and to the Jewish people as a whole. October 7th is a wake-up call for every Jew everywhere in the world. Come home. Study. Teshuvah. Return. You're far away. God forgives you. Come build the temple. Jerusalem. Mount Zion. The third temple. The center of the world. My dear friends, let me just say that the neshamas, the souls that we've lost, every Jew that has given his life throughout the ages is an angel in Gan Eden. Olam haba, the world to come, is written, and so it shall be. Hashem protects his people, protects his land, so it shall be. Start with making a decision, first of all and foremost, to keep Shabbat, God's day of rest. Keep kosher. Educate yourself. Because you need to come home. The doors are wide open. And no one can ever throw you out again. Fight you, demonstrate against you, insult you. We're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. We have our problems. We have our politics. We have our right. We have our left. We have everything, the best and the worst. We're just like any other people, except we are God's people. We're the chosen people on a chosen land for us to be free. My work continues. From here to every corner of the world. And everything that I've seen and everything that I've learned and every award that I've gotten and every line that I write and every moment of every day and my teaching and the voice and my poems and everything that comes from the bottom of my heart to share with everyone is guided and directed, and I'm open for that and appreciate that with all of my heart from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from God. Just like everybody else, a drop, but a drop can, must, and will be dedicated every moment of his or her life to our Creator and for the Creator of the world and to the Creator of the world. You can accept that in any way you want. Accept truth. Look at things in a true way. Make your resolutions and make your decisions as to how you write and how you speak and how you present with the idea in mind that every single solitary thing you do has an impact on the Jewish people. With this, start your day with prayer. End your day with prayer. And thank God every moment that He chose you to be part of the Jewish people. I greet you. I send you peace. I bless you. I comfort you. And I pray for us and for our world. Peace. Shalom.